Hi, I'm Christy Kapp with Dental Metrics, where we help manage your team through measurement. I have a story for you today on the importance of objective feedback. I love to coach my kids' basketball teams. When my oldest son was in 8th grade, I had 10 boys that I coached, and we had a ball. Well, a couple of games into the season, they kept nagging me to know how many points they had each game. Well, I wasn't keeping stats. So I had my husband start keeping stats of just simple numbers. How many points did each player have? How many rebounds? And how many turnovers? 3 really simple, important things in basketball. So after every game, my star players would want to know, did they get their personal best? And my other players wanted to know if they got any points at all in the short amount of time that they had playing during the game. I had 5 boys who were natural-born athletes, 5 not so much. So my bench wasn't really deep. And one particular game, my son Cameron files out in the beginning of the second half. And I need to put my 6th man in. My 6th man was Kirk. Strong kid, but during practice, when we had shooting drills, couldn't hit the basket to save his life. Just brick after brick after brick. His shooting percentage was terrible. I just knew it. Well, at the end of the game, they all did the same thing, came up to my husband and said, hey, how many points did I have? You know, we won the game. I want to know what I did. They wanted feedback. Particularly my star player, Zach, who was competing only against himself. He always wanted to beat his high score. He usually had 18 points or more. He wanted to know if he broke 20 after every game. So he was motivated to, improve on his own personal level. The other kids wanted to know if they improved enough to maybe start later. Well, Kirk, the one that I knew had a terrible shooting percentage, in one half had 10 points and 10 rebounds, and I couldn't believe it. If I hadn't had the stats, there's no way you could convince me he had 10 points and 10 rebounds, and I'm the coach watching the game. Well, come to find out, as I talked to my husband Tim, he saw a completely different view of the game than I did because he was keeping the numbers as the game was going on, and he said, Christy, look, Kirk can get under the basket, muscle his way underneath there, block out, get a rebound, and put it right back in if he's really, really close. If he's farther out, 3-5 feet, not so much. So I found out what Kirk's strengths were, how I could use him better, and found out that he could contribute. Again, it's another example. It's like a football coach with his headset on. He's getting real-time feedback during the game, as the game's going, not next week, not after the game. He has got people giving him feedback as the game progresses. That's what you need in your dental practice. You need feedback that gives you an objective view, not a subjective view of what you think is happening, but what is really happening by the numbers during the game as you guys are practicing during the day. Not next week, just during staff meeting, but you need to be alerted as you're practicing, as the day goes by, of any complaints that somebody might have, any feedback that they might give you that might be positive, negative, what have you, so you know how to make adjustments and be the best that you can be and serve your patients the best that you can serve them.